Welcome to the Mama's Fit YouTube channel. We're going to be breaking down 2 pushing techniques that you could utilize to help create more space in the bottom part of your pelvis. As your baby is rotating through your pelvis, they have to finish this rotation to get underneath this pubic arch. In order to be able to finish this rotation, either you need to have really strong uterine contractions that is just going to essentially force the baby underneath there, but an easier approach is to create more space by lifting one pelvic half so baby has more room to get underneath that pubic bone. In this video, we're going to break down 2 techniques that manually create more space that your partner can do to help while you are pushing. And if you want more pushing tips on how you can have your pushes be stronger, in addition to exercises that you can do during pregnancy to help create more space within your pelvis and to prepare for birth, check out our online prenatal fitness programs and our online childbirth education course. And you can always use code YouTube10 to get 10% off any of our online offerings. So first, let's break down the first technique that can create more space in the bottom part of your pelvis. The first technique is going to be a single knee press, and this is going to be helping your partner find a hip-shifted position that is going to create more space in the bottom part of the lower mid-pelvis. And so when you drive the hip back, it helps to move this pubic bone down to create a little bit more space for your baby to finish rotating. And so you can do this technique as you are pushing to create a little bit more space so that your pushes have a little bit more room. With the single knee press, you're going to take their knee so that their knee is aligned to your elbow crease, and they can just then rest their leg there, and then you can move up and down, and generally supporting with just one arm. Then we want to make sure that the knee is aligned to the hip, so it's not close to the chest and it's not further away from the chest. It's roughly 90 degrees with the torso and that thigh. Next, make sure that the knee and the hip are generally the same level to one another, so the knees aren't super spread apart and they're also not touching one another. Then you'll take your hand and we're just going to press straight back. This is going to bring that top hip further back than the bottom hip, which is going to bring you into a hip shift. And the person that you're doing this to should feel more of a stretch here, kind of in the sacral deep glute area. So if you're wearing jeans, you're going to feel it right in that pocket area. Now, this is something that you can practice during pregnancy because 1, it's a really great pelvic floor release exercise, and 2, this is going to help you to remember what that sensation feels like for labor or while you are pushing. You would hold this for the duration of the push, and then when it's all done, you can either kind of wiggle the hip and move it around. You can also lift the ankle up for a little bit more internal rotation to create more space in the pelvic outlet, or you can keep the leg a little bit more neutral depending on what feels more comfortable for you. The next counter pressure technique that we're going to use to create space in the bottom part of the pelvis is going to be the Cook's counter pressure. So I'm going to be looking for the 2 sits bones here, or the ischial tuberosities, which are usually just like these bony protrusions on the bottom of your pelvis. And I'm going to cup either one with my hand. So it's a fairly intimate one. So I usually like to put like a blanket or a sheet over if I'm doing this to someone who is not my partner. But if it is your partner, feel free to put your hands on with consent. So we're feeling for those sits bones. I'm going to cup my hands on either side. And then as they push, they're going to kind of push back into my hands. And they're going to feel more pressure towards the bottom of their pelvis to like the perineal area. And this is also going to help them direct their effort of push as well. Sometimes when we push, they push through their legs. So they're trying to straighten their legs as they go. But rather, we want them to push into the pelvis, into the hips, and this manual pressure can also help to create a little bit more space in the pelvic outlets. So it helps to direct the effort, and it can also help to create more physical space in the bottom of the pelvis while you are pushing. You can use these 2 techniques to help create more space in the bottom part of the pelvis to aid while you are pushing. We can do the single knee press, which is going to lift one pelvic half, creating a little bit more space to help your baby finish their rotation underneath the pubic bone. Or we can do the Cook's counter pressure, where we place the hands on the sits bones to help create more physical space in the pelvic outlet while also helping you to direct your pushes. Both of those techniques are 2 really great options that you can utilize during your labors and during your pushing. If you want to learn more pushing techniques and more pushing positions or just labor positions in general, check out our online childbirth education course, where we have an entire section on what labor positions to do to open each of the pelvic levels, how to do these different movements. And in addition, you can join our prenatal fitness programs where we teach you exercises that you can do during your pregnancy to help create space in each of the pelvic levels. So the first time that you do a hip shift or the first time that you do a movement to create space in the pelvis is not during labor. We can have those movements be familiar for us during our pregnancy. So check out our online childbirth education course so you can bundle our childbirth education and prenatal fitness course together to save 50% off and then add on our code YouTube10 to save an additional 10% off. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more with us throughout your pregnancy, your birth, and beyond, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel because we release tons of new videos every week to help you feel more informed and empowered along your journey.